Hey guys, Pinmaster here. I'm here with Vato Loco, and we're gonna talk about Sensei UFC. You guys see Sensei UFC all the time. We put it out like at least twice a month. There's a bunch, there's like 50 or 60 in our playlist of the Pit Online Dojo, and that's my YouTube channel, is the Pit Online Dojo. But then on playlists, if you go to Sensei UFC, there's like almost 60 of them. So we've been doing this for a while. We're pretty prolific when it comes to this because it's something that we're both very passionate about. So let me tell you about what Sensei UFC is. Some people might go, what is Sensei UFC? What does that mean?
Are you the UFC Sensei? I mean, what are we?
Yeah, what are we, Sensei to the UFC? No, actually. I actually have trained a few fighters in the UFC, even some champions. So I've been a sensei to UFC fighters in the past, but that's not what Sensei UFC is. In the old days, when martial arts first came out, it was used to protect each other's lives, right? So they would go out, that's when people would go out and fight in the streets. That's when, you know, the law was to like investigate the crime and investigate, you know, if you killed somebody. It wasn't there to protect you. You were there to protect yourself. Imagine that, people, taking personal responsibility for your own self-protection. Wow, go figure. Well, guess what, guys?
You have cops now.
That's why they think we have cops now. But guess what? For every cop, there's about 3,000 people that they're responsible for, depending on the city. Sometimes maybe only 1,200, right? But that means one cop to every average 2,500 people. So that means they can't protect every one of them. We have to protect ourselves, right? We're our own 911 call, okay? But with that said, we can't go out practicing the techniques that we learn at our dojo or our gym like they used to in the old days. So we have to believe in our instructor. We have to take what they say at face value. So with that said, instructors wanting to get more students came up with all kind of fancy, crazy moves that mean absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. They have no place in martial arts, and they didn't start in martial arts. Martial arts didn't start like that. But like I said, after the industrial age came, and there wasn't as much fighting because there's more guns in the street, and there was more laws, so there wasn't as much fighting. So karate schools or martial arts schools started coming up with all these crazy moves, and that way they would get more students. Because they said, well, if you do this, then this, and this, you can beat 25 people. And people were dumb enough to believe that shit, and they started signing up, right? But in the reality, a fight is gonna end the same way today as it would have back in 525 AD.
Violently?
Violently, with very simple techniques, they're gonna render your attacker unconscious.
Like they do in the UFC.
Just like they do in the UFC. So now, instead of practicing the moves in the street, we watch the UFC and we say, that would work in the street. So we take the techniques that we feel will work best in the street, we put them in a format that you can understand and that you can use in your curriculum, and that's what Sensei UFC has become. It's become, we're like mediums. Like, remember the movie Ghost? And Whoopi Goldberg was the medium? Okay, so she was the medium from the dead people to the live people. Remember that?
Patrick Swayze?
Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore. Okay, we are like Whoopi Goldberg. We take the techniques that we watch in the UFC, and then we turn them into techniques that'll work for you, and we give them to you. And then we teach them to you. Basic technique. Nothing crazy, just real stuff that has been proven to work in the UFC. So guess what? It will work for you in the street.
And the UFC is the closest thing to a real street fight.
It is.
They have rules, but...
And a lot of people say, well, it's not the street. No, it's not. But guess what? We can't go practice in the street. And guess what? Cops don't use real bullets when they practice. You know what I mean? The Navy SEALs, the toughest organization out there, they don't use real bullets, right? Special Forces, Rangers, they practice, they simulate. And that's what we do when we practice. We simulate. We don't want to get hurt training, so we simulate the techniques that are going to work for us in the street. So that's how we get them. We get them from the UFC, and we're geniuses when it comes to martial arts. Vato and I are absolute geniuses. We know how to take what technique we see in the UFC, we can put it in our brain, which is like a martial arts computer, and then we teach it to you guys. And that's what Sensei UFC is. So when you see our videos on Facebook, YouTube, in my blog, or wherever, and it says Sensei UFC, that's what it is. It's us teaching you simple techniques that we've seen and proven effective in the UFC, and then we teach them to you. So that's all it is, guys.
All it is.
And you're gonna get that from us like every other week or so. You're gonna get a Sensei UFC from us. All right, so that's all I gotta say about Sensei UFC. Check it out. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and share this. The whole world should watch what we're doing because it's gonna keep them safer in the street. What do you think?
True.
All right.
Stay safe.
Thanks for coming, guys. Train hard. Don't let anyone take your lunch money.